Matt, why was it for you to come to this event?
Oh, anytime like you can do something and help raise money for, obviously the American Cancer Society, but just our group, with the coaches and Coaches vs. Cancer. It's a pretty special group. I think everybody here has been affected by cancer in one way or the other, whether it's indirectly or directly. So my wife's a cancer survivor. My mom passed away of pancreatic cancer almost 3 years now. So I think everybody has those stories that hit their personal lives that, you just want to be a part of something to hopefully someday, get a cure.
Fred said it was going to be nice to maybe put the phone away for a couple hours.
Yeah, there you go.
Take a little break from what's not a break for you guys.
Yeah, we wish that we could determine that, like when we put the phone away. But I think it's more, everybody's in different situations. Like some people have to get into the portal and get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. If you take a job, there's guys out there that have to sign a whole team. So, I'm just thankful at Purdue that we've had a lot of retention and a lot of guys. We've had a couple guys here in the past couple years transfer, but for the most part, we've done a good job of keeping guys and building them, and that's the hard piece. You gotta be able to sign them, but then if you want to develop them, you got to be able to keep them. You can't develop people you can't keep. So it's a little bit different landscape in college basketball, but it's part of it, and it's the same for everybody.
What's your secret then?
What's that?
What's your secret then, unless you don't want to give that away?
No, I think the secret for us has been not looking at who we're beating in recruiting, but who's a fit at our place. And it's got to be important for them to get their education at Purdue. So if you want to leave, you got to take a hard look at, okay, I'm going to leave and transfer. That means I'm never going to get a degree at Purdue. And so just trying to find people that understand the value of education, but also obviously being a really good player. It goes hand in hand, but and just building relationships, not just in recruiting, but when they're on your team. Like continue to build relationships where it's that trust. So if you can get that trust, and trust is a two-way street, it really helps out. If you're just fielding a team and you're going back and forth and you just want to have a good team, you're not going to have a good program. So we just strive to have a good program and then just keep building it from there.
Now, what's your relationship like with Brad for him to want to bring you here? Pretty cool collection of coaches.
Yeah, he reached out to a lot of us during the year. I thought I was going to be on the West Coast at this time, and then that's the reason I was kind of a late add-on, because then that didn't work. And it was through recruiting, because trying to get people on campus, everybody always thinks it's up to us, but it's up to the recruits. So, but no, this is a great event. I'm glad he has something like this. Obviously, when Bruce Weber was here, we had the event at the Beef House for Coaches vs. Cancer, and that was really cool. And tried to keep that going, and it just didn't. Illinois did a lot of the work, to be frank with you. Just like this is their event, but the Illinois-Purdue event, they really started and did it. So that raised a lot of money, and then hopefully we can just be a part of this event tonight and raise a lot of money.
About a couple of years into this portal and all this, is there anything you'd like to see change, or how would you guys adjust?
Yeah, I'd like to see it go away. I was on a lot of those committees when it first came, and name, image, and likeness was going to happen. We had to do a better job with its guardrails, but this didn't need to happen. Anything that you can have, they're trying to make everything the same, and a lot of it is the fear of litigation. And the NCAA is spending just oodles of money, millions of dollars, trying to keep things out of the courtroom and then battle things in the courtroom. So a lot of people don't know that's really a pretty kind of good premise that they've had, with that rule. But the one-time transfer in the portal did not need to happen. So now allowing guys just to move, and you kind of equate it to like trading baseball cards when you're a little kid. Like that's what fans, they grow with. It's like, if you can remember when free agency started in baseball, with Curt Flood and all that happened, they have those rights, but it made you mad because if you're a Cardinals fan in this area or a Cubs fan in this area, those are your guys. You don't want to see them move, and that's how I became a Cubs fan. I was an hour and 45 minutes from Cincinnati, and Pete Rose left. When you're 9 years old, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, why can't Pete Rose be a Cincinnati Red forever? So I think your fans, have that affinity for those players, and they want to see them grow through the ranks from freshman to sophomore to junior to senior. Obviously, there are some positive transfers. I'm not saying it's, there are times when guys need to leave, and there was a venue for that and a setup for that. But the rules are for everybody, right? And it's the same. So you just got to be able to kind of get things figured out. You got to make sure you know who you're getting, or you're just going to keep them. You're just going to kind of have a guy for a short amount of time. I would rather try to get it figured out to the best of our ability, even though it's an inexact science. So now we can have a guy for 4 to 5 years.
Now, what kind of stories will we expect to hear tonight? I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't know how open this is, so it's my first time. So anytime you get coaches, normally you're going to get some good stories about referees. So, but no, we have some really good competitive battles within the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten is just a fabulous league. So hopefully some of those stories come out.